Hey guys, it's Candy. Welcome back. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the books that I have purchased in the month of July. And it is kind of crazy amount of books. I know I have definitely not ever purchased this many books in 1 month before. And I'm pretty sure, I think it's like 40 if I count the handful of books that I purchased on my Kindle as well. So we're just gonna jump right in. I will say that some of the books I got were from the Book of the Month Club. Some of the books I got were secondhand from Pango. It's this new app slash website. Well, I shouldn't say it's new. It's new to me. I had never used it before, so I kind of went crazy and got a bunch of books off of there. And then also this month was kind of a high number because I purchased a bunch of books trying to build up my Colleen Hoover collection. And that's what we're gonna start with today. And being there are so many books, it's gonna be very brief why I bought the book, and it's just gonna be kind of sharing what I bought rather than like details of what the book's about and all that good stuff. So we're just gonna move this little girl here for a second. So this is gonna be kind of like my Colleen Hoover shelf. These books here, I already had by Colleen Hoover. These are the new ones that I've purchased. So once I get done filming this video, I'll be able to organize these shelves a little bit better. First one is Verity. I ordered this one off of Target.com. I've already read this book. I read it on my Kindle, but I wanted to have the book, like the actual book, because this is probably one of my favorite books by Colleen Hoover. So far, I would say Verity and Confess are my top two favorites. And Reminders of Him is probably number 3. All Your Perfects I haven't read yet, but I purchased that book I think in June. So it ends with us. I actually made a little reel on my Instagram saying that I'm kind of embarrassed that I haven't read this book yet because I feel like this is probably her most popular book, in my opinion. Could be wrong. Maybe it's Verity, maybe it's a different one. There's a part 2 of this that is coming out in, I think it's October. So I actually feel like at this point, I'm just gonna wait and read it right before the part 2 book comes out so I can just read them together. I have Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. This one I've heard is a lot of people's like all-time favorite, so I'm excited to read that one. We have Regretting You. And then we have Finding Perfect, which is really small. It's just a novella. And then Without Merit, which I know absolutely nothing about. We have that one. And then we have Too Late. We have November 9th. I actually got this off Pango because I wanted the original cover because I just think the original cover is so much cuter than the new cover, just my opinion. That's Pango. And I mean, these are secondhand books, but they literally are in excellent condition. And Layla, I got off Pango as well. So if you notice, I'm missing The Hopeless, Losing Hope, and Finding Cinderella. And then I'm missing the Maybe Someday series, and I'm missing the Slammed series. And the reason I haven't picked those up is because Colleen Hoover has released that new covers of those books are going to be coming out soon. And I love the new covers. I think they're beautiful, beautiful books. And I know that none of those books that I just listed are ones that I'm like anxious to read right this second. So I don't care if I don't even get them until like next year, as long as I get them eventually. Next, we will cover this book, Susan Mallory. It is The Girls of Mischief Bay. If you watched my video the week before that, on Sunday, my book video, Carly and I went around and did a whole bunch of my little library. We dropped books off, and this was the only book that I took out of one of my little free libraries. So next, I'm gonna share with you guys the Christmas collection of books that I've slowly started. So I have some really cute, fun books to read this holiday season. This book I had actually purchased, Mary Kay Andrews' The Santa Suit, from this Instagram page called Porter Co. Bookshop, and it is this girl, C.S. Gray, who runs the site. She sells books. She actually sells a lot that are signed by the authors as well. So when she sent me this book, she had messaged me through Instagram and said, hey, I see you love to read and you share books on your Instagram. I'm going to send you my book that I wrote. See, S.C. Gray, Rules for Dating a Bookshop Owner. And she actually has the second book coming out to this, coming up in either October, I think it is. So other Christmas books that I got the Ellen Hilderbrand, the Winter in Paradise series, I guess. That's book 1. Book 2 is What Happens in Paradise, and book 3 is Troubles in Paradise. So I think if I've read the Winter Street series, I probably read like maybe 4 other books by her as well. So I thought this would be a fun series for this winter. I got these off Pango. So just to give you an idea, I got these 3 books off Pango with the shipping included for like $13. Other Christmas books I got, The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I honestly cannot remember if I got this off Pango or off Amazon because it practically looks brand new. So unfortunately, I don't remember on that one. The Christmas Wedding Guest by Susan Mallory, and I'm really bummed about this one. Look at the corner of that book. That bums me out so much. I ordered this off Amazon and it came like that because I hate when Amazon ships books in their plastic like bags instead of a box. Always in December, I got this book off of Pango. It literally looks brand new, by Emily Stone. This one highly recommended by another Instagram page that I follow, saying that this is like her all-time most favorite like holiday book ever. I actually had to look this up on my Goodreads account, which you can follow me on Goodreads. Link is down below. Just to confirm, The Wedding Date is actually the first book in a series by Jasmine Guillory. I already have the second book. It's called The Proposal. I had bought it without knowing that there was a first book, and there's actually 2 more books in the series as well, but I'm gonna wait until I read these 2 to make sure I love it before I purchase the other ones. Back to holiday books, 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Lewis. This one I got off Amazon. This one is in good condition, and I just love the cover of this one. It's so cute. So I definitely need to organize my books and start a Christmas shelf for sure. Couple other books that I got off of Pango, The Guncle by Stephen Raleigh. So many people love this book. I guess it's just super funny. I don't know if it's romance too or what. I just know it's really, really funny. So that's why I got that one. The Marriage Lie by Kimberly Bell. I know nothing about this book or this author. It just was one of the bookstores on Pango that I was purchasing books off of. I wanted to buy 1 more book, so I qualified for her free shipping offer, and it looked pretty good. It has decent ratings on Goodreads. Whenever I buy like books that I've never heard of before, I do go to Goodreads, and typically I'm like a 3.8 or above. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with all the books I purchased off Pango, and wow, I guess I didn't realize how many there were. All right, The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. This was one that I had added to my want to read list and was excited to see that one of the bookshops I checked out on Pango had this available. Just one of those books that someone had reviewed that I enjoy their recommendations. The Switch by Beth O'Leary. She's a pretty popular author. I have the No Show book that I purchased by her, have not read it yet. This was from Pango. Made in Manhattan by Lauren Lane. I got The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas. And obviously this one looks like it's a little bit of a thriller, kind of scary, so this will be fun. Monsters, A Love Story. I know 0 about this book, and it looks like the person that I bought it off of definitely did not read this book herself. Evie Drake Starts Over by Linda Holmes. This is one that I've seen quite a few people recommend before. Okay, so that is it of the Pango books. Now we're back to just a couple books that I picked up. I got this one off Amazon, Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan, and I read it almost immediately after it came in the mail. It's kind of somewhat of a shorter book, and I highly recommend this book. I'm not going to get into what this is about because I'm going to do a like summer reading review type video coming up, and I'll definitely be sharing this book then, but I definitely recommend it if you want to add it to your list. I also picked up Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, and it is a highly recommended book by many people, including Asha. Said this book is so good, so I'm excited to read this. It's probably one of the books that's at the pretty top of my to be read pile. So I'm sure I'm probably going to be reading this and reviewing it in my video I just mentioned. For book of the month, I had some book credits to use. So I picked out The Bodyguard for my book of the month, and I have not read this one yet. And then I used credits to purchase 2 additional books. One of them is Firstborn by Will Dean. It's a thriller. Other than that, know nothing about it or the author. And then this book by Riley Sager, The House Across the Lake. This one I feel like is kind of hit or miss with most people. I actually read this book already and I did not love it. I'm pretty sure I gave it 2 stars. I really liked Riley Sager's book, The Final Girls. This book for me just seemed so far-fetched and unrealistic. I just didn't feel like the twists and turns, and there were several of them, just didn't hit the spot for me. We went to the Barnes & Noble in Ann Arbor this last week, and I swore I was done buying books. I'm gonna so hard try to not even buy any more books for the rest of the summer, and I'm already looking at like some of the August releases, and it's going to be so hard. 3 of the books that I picked up while I was there is One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. Just looks really good, getting pretty decent ratings on Goodreads. This book actually came out the day that I purchased it, The Last to Vanish by Megan Miranda. I have a few other books by her as well that thrillers, it's like I get them because they're popular. So many people recommend them, and then I don't know why it's really hard sometimes for me to like get in the right mood to read a thriller. I'm reading a really good one right now, which I'll tell you about in a minute, but this whole shelf is thrillers. This one's got a handful of thrillers, and I don't know, especially in the summer, I feel like I'm more drawn to reading romance books. And I also picked up The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. And I got a little bit deeper on Goodreads reading people's reviews of this, and there were a lot of people that expected so much more from this book, and I'm like, oh man, why did I get it? So I hate when that happens, because now I feel like I'm probably not going, like I was really excited to read this, like I was gonna move it to the top of my TBR pile, and now I'm just like, I don't know. I actually pre-ordered a couple books. This book, The Merry Little Meet Cute, I pre-ordered it off of Amazon. It comes out September 20th, obviously to add to my Christmas collection. One Last Gift by Emily Stone. This book comes out October 11th. Again, Christmas book. The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I have seen so many people on Instagram that read and enjoy the same types of books that I do, and they love this book. 5 stars all the way. I kept seeing it at Barnes & Noble. I kept debating picking it up. I just have so many books here on my bookshelves to read that are similar to this book that I was like, no, I don't need it, I don't need it. And then I saw that Amazon had it for $1.99 for the Kindle download, so I downloaded it to my Kindle. After I read that Riley Sager book, which is the last book that I read, I actually downloaded and started reading Creep by Jennifer Hillier. She is my favorite thriller author. She wrote Little Secrets, which was my all-time favorite book of 2021. Things We Do in the Dark, which was released recently, but she sent me an early copy, and her books are just crazy intense. I've also read by her Jar of Hearts, which is very, very graphic and also mentions rape. So trigger warning on that if those types of books bother you. But if you like really kind of creepy, offensive, gory, like books that make you go, whoa, her books are pretty good. All right, that is finally it, guys. That is all the books that I got in the month of July. Like I said, a little crazy. My bookshelves here that I just put up, a couple months ago, are very quickly getting full. So I definitely need to slow down. And currently I actually have 113 books on my Goodreads account. I made a category where, because I like having that category of books I want to read, but then I also have a category where I put books that I have on my bookshelves. So when I'm like, okay, what do I want to read next? I can actually go to my Goodreads account and kind of scroll through and like mental reminder of what books I have already purchased on my shelves, because Sometimes just the way I have them organized is hard to remember like what I have and what I really want to read next. I'm wondering if you guys have bookshelves full of like a ton of books. How do you organize your books? Do you put them like in categories where you're like, oh, this is a section of books that I really want to read? Or, you know, do you organize them by author, by genre? I need help figuring out how to organize these. So comment down below. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great week, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.